Lord bless it. We are here together.
Live. We are live in the room.
We's in the flesh
Good
in both places.
evening,
Hallelujah.
everybody. Good evening. Good evening.
Come on with the church announcements.
Okay. Are you drinking?
Girl, we ain't even at that point of the show yet.
Well, first of all, hey, y'all. We're Black and Curious. Welcome back to the program. We're here for our reality recap. It's Monday, so that's what we do here.
Yes, it
If
is.
you are on Facebook, not her girl. If you are on Instagram, go ahead, drop down and subscribe, like, all that, whatever. Or what is it? Follow.
Like,
Girl,
comment, subscribe, and follow us. Come
follow
on,
us on
Kendra.
Instagram. If you're on YouTube, sorry, it's been a long day. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. We talk reality and real life and how they collide. And we're here multiple times a week. But today is our live reality recap. So we are here.
Yes, but so over here on YouTube, since we have not done this in a long ass time because I be forgetting, let's go ahead and give y'all a little bit of the branding because this will be the last time you'll see this for the year. How about that? It was good though. So if you've not seen it, make sure that you support everything Black and watch Reasonable Doubt over there on Hulu and Kindred because that's good. But these are not reality shows, so we're gonna move right on along. What are you drinking?
I am having some rosé, the Maison Noir. I ordered a bunch of wines during the holiday, the Black Friday, Cyber Week holidays. I ordered a bunch of wines, so I'm trying the Love Drunk, which is not my favorite. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite from Maison Noir. So
Where'd you order from?
their website.
Oh, which I don't know. I thought you had like a wine subscription.
No, I don't. I wish I did though. That would be great.
Okay, so I'm just having the usual 19 crimes. This is the last of the bottle, so I just poured all of it into the glass because
Perfect.
it's been one of those days. All right, let's move on to the mess, shall we?
Let's do it.
So for Instagram fam, if y'all don't know by now, we do pop culture at the top of the show. If you want to see what we're actually talking about, it is on YouTube. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So the first story out of the gates. Oh, this one is Kendron's, Carisha and Diddy. Or Young Miami.
I just feel like I feel like they had an understanding, and were children a part of the understanding? Probably not. So I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, but we go together real bad is not relationship 101. Like, and especially not from somebody like Diddy or whatever he is referring to himself as lately.
Love, honey. That's love, and he got a love
whatever.
junior.
Sure. I just don't feel like, it didn't seem committal to me. It didn't seem one-on-one committal to me on any level. So I don't feel that she's a side piece because I don't think there's a main piece. I feel like everybody is playing their part. Maybe some people have bigger roles in the situation. Somebody has a kid. But we've learned from Nick Cannon that just having a child does not make you a main character by any stretch, because he got about 3 main characters that he goes between because he having kids.
Ain't it like 7?
No, I'm not talking about the kids. I'm talking about he's having multiple kids by like 3 of the moms.
But like that, it was more than 3 moms.
It is it's more than 3 moms. I'm saying there are 3 or 4 of them that have multiples that keep having kids by him, and their kids are overlapping in age.
I'm catching up, friend.
So all I'm right. Just saying there seems to be a rotation, and it seems like they're okay with it. And so it seems to me like maybe Carisha didn't think there were going to be any kids involved, but it seemed like this was not exclusive by all accounts. Even when I watched her podcast, which I think is hilarious, when I watched that, I was not we go together real bad is not, to me, we are
That is not doing it for Kendra, honey.
That doesn't give exclusive vibes to me. That gives like, oh, we have fun when we have fun, and then when we not having fun, you go do what you do.
They got a real bad situationship. That's what that means. Bad as in good, y'all. Catch up. That's old people's, language. Okay, moving right on along.
So, well, no, bad meant bad in this situation for me. But go ahead.
I mean, touche. Everybody's favorite flashy Mr. Gucci pasta.
I did not know this, but
so the New York Times is reporting. Girl, I got my notes. Hold on, friends. The New York Times is reporting that Pastor Whitehead was arrested for defrauding parishioners. Feds said Whitehead solicited money from victims through threats and false promises, accusations of premeditated robbery as it relates to the incident that we actually come to know him for. And he is facing wire fraud, attempted extortion, and false statements.
What a clown.
Like,
what an actual clown. What a clown.
And they always got on a whole suit with the damn, what's that called?
What, a logo?
Monogram? Same difference. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Fashion Mom Daily said it's fake, so nevertheless.
Listen, the girls across the ocean be doing a good job with a fake. Just saying.
Didn't he have a history of scamming in the past?
I mean, allegedly, we don't really know nothing over here, Black and Curious.
No, I thought he did time one time. Oh, okay. Wait, this is, y'all know, I am a faithful, ratchet, and respectable listener. So she was talking about this situation, and she has a personal connection to this situation. So she, I think, discussed a little bit more, and I think I may have dug around. I also might have been listening to. I might have been listening to Wine and Chill. She may have talked about it too. Anyways,
she did talk about it today, but I didn't watch her breakdown. She does have. We can tag her. So if you guys want more detail about Mr. Gucci,
yeah.
In this photo, he got on Fendi.
But yeah, it's giving. Yeah, well, but
you do have a penchant for a good suit, though. I ain't gonna be mad at him, even if it is fake. It's tailored properly.
I just feel like the scammers are going to find a way, aren't they? They're just going to find a way. And listen, I hate to say it, but like vulnerable people, that's how people get solicited into cults and stuff, because vulnerable people, preying on vulnerable people. That's how people end up in Scientology too. So,
girl, we don't listen to the people that practice that thing. We don't know nothing about it. Okay, we don't want no problems.
I'm just saying, the history of the world and of cults, I am actually very fascinated by cults. So,
but I ain't saying we can strike that from the record.
All right. Well, I watch a lot of stuff to do with cults. Not saying what Scientology is or is not.
Why she keeps saying that, y'all?
Or the S word. I don't really give a crap. But just saying, people get solicited into cults from being vulnerable and being in these churches and stuff. You gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful.
Absolutely. You gotta be mindful of the person that you are deciding that is your shepherd. Be mindful of that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. Family business. So there have been some, not necessarily iOS press releases, but some Instagram press releases. There's some beef between father and son. So
really?
Romeo Miller basically came out on Instagram and said that his father is not who he portrays himself to be, and that he was never paid for all the work that he did under the guise of like, this is the family business. So it's some trouble in paradise with the Millers at this point. He also came out and said in his statement, I think it's still on Instagram now, but he said that his mother was always right. So if you were watching back in the day, what is that show that all the rich kids was on?
Growing Up Hip Hop.
Yes. So he was saying, back then that like his parents was going through a divorce and they was beefing and he was trying to stay out of it, but he trying to be the go-between between his parents
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that didn't work out. Now he's in agreement with his mother that his father just basically is doing all these things for himself and for his like namesake, so that like he looks and is seen a certain way. So I hate to see
After
it.
having watched Growing Up Hip Hop probably 4 or 5 seasons longer than anybody else, I kept watching for a long time. But
I mean, it was interesting, but then I
okay.
just fell off.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was good background noise, but I kept watching, and based on seeing how they interacted with each other, I'm not surprised that they fell out. Master P seems to be like a very principled, it's the principle of the matter, and wanting to teach his grown children the way. And it's like at a certain
It's his
point you
way or
have
no
to
way.
acknowledge, yes, and it's his way or no way. And at a certain point you have to acknowledge that your children are grown, they're adults, and they don't need to be at your knee learning lessons anymore. Like,
Pretty much.
if you're going to transition ownership, or if you're going to do succession planning, which we've talked about before, if you're going to do some form of succession planning, then do that. But you can't keep holding every single thing over their heads. Or he gives me kind of like, kind of a little bit petty. Like, if you don't do it my way, then you're not getting anything. I'll write you out of my will type of vibe. So,
Hello. I will say this. I think that Mario, who is Mario girl?
Yikes.
Romeo. I assure y'all I am not tipsy. I just can't never get the words right. I assure you though that Romeo is at that stage of life when you start to see things and people differently, and especially like our parents. I think it's something about getting into that early 30s when you really start formulating self and then deciding how it is that you want to live and operate in the world. And I also want to say that he's a parent now too. So I feel like all of these things are happening and he's reconciling all that stuff in his mind about how he grew up, how he was raised with his father, how his mother raised him, and how he probably wants to be a parent to his child and children in the future. So y'all get down in the comments and let us know what you think about all of that. But I think that there's something to that early 30s reconciliation that we go through.
Also, you realize like your parents are human, which means they're fallible. And most people kind of know that, like you were wrong on that, but I feel like society, and especially like in Black families, you are to kind of hold your parents at like a high level, and then you'd be like, oh no, y'all are just humans trying to figure it out too.
Y'all had no idea what the hell was going on.
Y'all didn't even know what y'all was doing. Y'all didn't know what y'all was doing. Y'all was doing the best you can, and I'm doing the best I can, and I'm doing it differently. So
hello,
it is what it is.
That be the part.
Could be that.
So, on to the reality recap of it all. That's why we're here.
You know what? Let's start real quick. Let me get this out of the way right up front, because we're talking about grown children and mess that happens between grown children. Sister Wives has been a hot mess this season. I just have to say, Cody is trash. He been lying. The internet been catching him in lies. He been talking about, oh, I was planning on reconciling with this person, and we just like, wait. He mentioned this incident where Mary has been out of his good graces for a while since she got catfished. So, yeah. So,
how we get catfished and we on TV? I mean, I guess it can happen to anybody, but like.
So since she got catfished, she's been out of his good graces. And so she's been trying to get back in his good graces. She baked him some Rice Krispie treats, and he paid her dust, and we all saw it. And then at the tell-all the other day, he was kind of like, well, that was the time that I thought that I would be ready to reconcile with Mary. And I was just like, really? Because that's not what we saw on TV. We watched that. So we just caught you in a lie. Like, we've been watching you people on our TVs for like 15 years or something. Like,
well,
like you can't lie to us. We know. Yeah, Janelle is out, and he's giving this line about patriarchy, like this is a patriarchy, and Janelle was like, I didn't sign up for that. I signed up for a group project, and we was all supposed to be working together and raising this family. And now you're trying to act like it's some patriarchy, girl. What in the world? No, I'm not doing that. So Janelle is out. And then he has effectively said that he has kicked Mary out now, Like, I'm not even interested in any parts of you anymore. I'm not even gonna pretend to act interested in you anymore. Not that he even was, but he was at least letting her stick around. But he's kind of like, you can go because I don't have any use for you. So now it's down to one wife, and the one wife who we all know is the favorite, and she knows she the favorite, and she been pulling all the strings all along. Robin, she's like, they just left him with me. They just decided they didn't want to be involved anymore. You're just like,
Girl, you better go find you some new teammates, girl.
Save it. Save it. So, anyways, it's showing all the mess, all the fractures. They're being honest about all these years we've been watching them. They were like, no, I didn't kick it with her all that time. I didn't like her. We fell out. I did not trust her. And it's just like, wow, y'all held that really well for a really long time.
I feel like 2022 has been the year of like ultimate like reconciliation of self, like all the things that don't no longer fit or are no longer incongruent with who it is that you are and how you showing up. Everybody is just changing left and right.
Yeah.
Because like how long has that show been on the air? Like 10 plus years?
It's been probably about 15 years at this point, honestly.
So yeah, like the people just tired of the going along to get along, and like now just living more authentically is the key.
Absolutely. So
the c'est la vie.
Man, listen. So that's that on that. And speaking of people who are, coming into themselves, let's go on over to Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Ciao. I do appreciate how the girls came together and had dinner at Kimmy and Maurice's house. And I ain't gonna lie to you. That goddamn Marceau, he is growing on me.
Same. I always said that Marceau. Thank you. See, you always was looking at me crazy when I said Marceau was charming. He's got a little charm to him. And the way he is showing up for the family as Kimmy is after her diagnosis and all of this stuff, it has been it has been awesome to watch. Like, he cooked the dinner at the house. He and Maurice had a conversation. They had a cry. They cried it out. He went up to Jalen at Martell's wine launch. He went up to Jalen and make sure that he was okay and had that conversation with him, like a very heartfelt conversation for him. It's like Marceau is showing the hell up. And I really, really, I appreciate seeing him in this light, because he has not been shown in a good light before.
In the previous seasons, he was just very anti, and he said it though. He was very anti, like the relationship reality TV show. He was more so hoping that it was going to be about the businesses and how Black people of affluence can go from having nothing to creating these multi-million-dollar businesses and do well, and like be model representatives of the community. So definitely. To see him kind of like switch brains and just kind of be more himself, I think what we're seeing, like Karen on RHOP, he's being more himself, like he's settled into this existence on television. Yeah. And I appreciate that, because like all the interviews that I've seen with Tisha, she had been saying like he's really charming, he's funny, he jokes a lot, and like the rest of us is like, girl, we don't never see that. All we see is an asshole. And like the way he like talks to you like you are a Stepford wife, you know what I mean? Like we're not seeing what you're seeing. I get it now.
Yeah, definitely.
But I will say she wore me out with her wanting all these extra steps when he was letting her know, like, I reached out to her so that we can have this conversation, and I'm going to see her at some point today. But it wasn't directly me reaching out. It was me reaching out through my assistant.
Right. Yeah, we talked about that. We touched on that a little bit last week, and I touched on it last week. I was waiting.
Yeah, I'm just now catching up, y'all. Sorry.
Yeah, same. I agree. I'm total agreement. Like, girl, you're doing too much, y'all. He's closing the loop on a conversation. It's not like he reached out to her cold out of the blue, like, I just wanted to kick it with Mel. No, they were closing the loop on a conversation that you all had together. So knowing that Kimmy and Maurice are preoccupied with her, her diagnosis and everything, just like he was the next best person to just be like, hey, heads up, I did talk to my brother, or I don't know if that's his brother or if it's Maurice's brother. Like, I don't know if they share the
They said
same.
it's he's the oldest, the brother they talk to.
Okay. No, because they said it kind of funny on one of the episodes. They were like, Martel, no, sorry, not Martel. I think, gosh, why is his name? Marceau said that Maurice was his brother, and then the other one was Maurice's brother. That's why I was like, is he also
I
Marceau's
missed that.
brother? Or anyways, I don't know if they're actually blood related or what, but whatever the case may be, I appreciated him that he was just closing the gap and like closing the loop on that conversation. It wasn't like a brand new conversation outside of Tisha's control.
Yeah. But then I felt like on Marceau's side, like once he actually sat down with Mel, like, child, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like Mel, her attitude is just disgusting. And like I literally, as I was watching, I was just like, you know what? Mel finna find herself outside of a job.
And she's just gonna find herself, she's a person that's gonna find herself with no friends at some point.
Well, no friends on this cast. I'm not saying. I mean, she probably got real relationships outside of the show, but like,
I mean, I
just
imagine
this constant stankiness. Ugh.
Yeah, and like on the one hand, I understand she's trying to assert her boundaries, but I think you can do it without being nasty.
Agreed.
Even to the point of her with Martel coming over to the house. Did you get there? You got there?
Mm-hmm.
And she was kind of like, no, you cannot come into my house. Like,
but y'all just went on vacation together. It's like she's looking for things to be upset about.
And here's the thing. I get it, because there have been times where I will move into a new space, or I would move into, just a different space and be like, I don't want that person's I don't want to ever have had that person's energy in my home. And I purposely keep them out of my home. Out of a new space. You know what I'm saying? So she could be in a space where she's just like, I just don't want Martel's energy in my home, but then just say that.
Or
and if that's the case,
you don't have to even say that. Just be like, you know what, why don't we just go on around back?
Or go on around back. Like he was saying, it was hot outside. But I mean, then if you know that you're going to let him come all the way over here and you're not comfortable with him coming in your home, why don't you just say, hey, I'll meet you at your house. Let me meet you at your house. And let's do it that way. Or in a public place, because he is clearly comfortable with her coming into his home. But like, I think it's her right to say, I don't want you in my house. I don't want you thinking that and because of how Martel is, he is one of those give an inch and take a mile. He is. He absolutely is. And so and even the way he was talking to her, it was like he went from being cordial to her to like trying to run her again, as like
the way he was in this house. Like,
yeah, girl, like you gonna let me in this house. Why you playing? Don't be disrespectful. Why you playing? Don't play with me like that. And it's just like, that's her house. And she don't have to let you in.
And don't.
She don't have to let you in.
Like, they are always going to be equally as much the problem, but like, she at this point it's just like, girl, get off this show and just get your like producer credits and collect your check, because you don't want to talk to these people, you don't want to have any dealings with these people. Then when you do, it's just like awkward and uncomfortable. So the audience, which is us, is out here like having secondhand embarrassment. Like, girl, just get off this show.
And also her way in really was Kimmy, and now that Kimmy is having her own struggles on the side, like she doesn't have anyone to film with, or anyone to,
because she don't want to
be a part of it.
That is of her doing. Not that she doesn't. I'm not saying it's that is like of her doing. Yeah.
No, of course. I'm saying that Kimmy was the person who could be who was reliably a person that she could film with, a person that she could a bridge, that a person who could invite her different places and she might show up. And then you have Stormy kind of trying to come into that role. Tiffany hasn't really been around this season, which is fine.
Child, Tiffany can go.
She can go.
Her and her husband.
Her and
Peace
Louis.
out. Y'all don't need to be back. No shade, no disrespect, but y'all don't need to be back.
Don't need to be back. So anyways, all that to say, she doesn't seem interested in being involved with the active cast, as it were. So
no, none whatsoever. So yeah. Where you want to go next? Because I don't have nothing else to say about them.
Well, I mean, we only got one left, which is Potomac, Real Housewives of Potomac.
Oh, you're right, because it is the end of the year, so there's not a whole lot of stuff going on.
Did you watch Love Without Borders by any chance?
I did.
Okay.
And I
I'm
will
not.
say this, after watching episode 2 and the most recent one, which was 3, Girlene is getting on my nerves. She is hella disrespectful. Because my thing is, like, okay, so you're at someone's house, they're having a party. I think that was episode 2. They're having a party, and it is in your nature to start cleaning up because that's what you would do at home. Well, baby, you're not at home.
Okay.
Like, you're not at home. So, like, you know, like, when in Rome, be in Rome type energy. Like, if they're telling you that's not what we do here, it's kind of like, okay, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll take the few things that I already have in my hands, put it down, and I'm gonna relax. That's it.
I think it was anxious energy and she needed somewhere to put it. She was
Homegirl
on my
was
nerves.
drunk.
Well, yes, that too, but I just felt like she needed somewhere to like channel her energy. That's what it felt like to me. But I didn't watch this past episode. I watched like a few minutes, but I didn't watch all of it. So yeah, she irritated me for other reasons. Like I understood why she was so irritated with him being at home with his family. And I understood why she like kind of wanted to move out. I probably would have done the same thing. Kind of like I didn't come from a situation where I lived at home, so I don't want to be in a situation where I live at home.
Not even living at home. I don't come from a situation where I'm living with other fucking people. So like that's out.
I mean, yeah, roommate. I feel like I would have felt similarly about a roommate, but I definitely wouldn't have wanted a house full of family. No,
not your mama and dad. We can't have no conversation because mama and daddy chiming in. Like, girl, no. I'm here to get to know you. And
mom, dad, and sister
after the fact. Yeah,
no.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm. So you have any other impressions of the couples on Love Without Borders?
What were they in Ireland? The farmer and the other girl. I don't remember everybody's names because I'm just getting caught up. Mm-hmm. He said that he had to get in there and get a little nibble. And she said that, oh, nothing happened. Girl, y'all was smacking bellies. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Y'all was snuggle and whatever else. God bless it. We already know. We already know.
Like, own your true child. You talking about, oh, we getting naked on the first night? That's what we're doing? Hello, at this point, like, there ain't no shame in it. You on TV. Anything that is recorded, you should expect to be seen and implications to be made. Like,
yeah. And they hit it off really fast anyway, so not surprised.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. The Frenchman and the guy from North Dakota is interesting to me. I don't know that the Frenchman is really that interested. He's just French. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so like the way he, like the way French people operate, and they're very like loving and friendly, and they cook and they do sweet little things. He's not giving me like I'm ready to like settle down with this person. Whereas the American guy is just not taking that well. He don't understand it. It's like a combination of culture shock because you're in a place where you don't speak the language. And then you have this person that's like to you coming on strong, but they're just being their like Frenchy self, Parisian self. That's so ignorant. I should have said it like that, but like Parisian because they're in Paris. So like, relax, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we're gonna see how the rest of these. Naeem. Okay.
He's interesting.
Interesting is a good word for what Naeem.
Naeem gives me someone that I dated that you're aware of. Like, Peter Pan syndrome, never want to grow up, always want to be a kid. And there's ways to do that as an adult, but it seems like, and he said it, that he has never, he was always playing. So I don't know that all the play is out of his spirit. He say it is, but I don't know that it is.
Got it. Understood. Understood.
So yeah.
Any thoughts about the Ghanaian couple? the Atlanta and Ghanaian couple. Right, exactly.
I think I want to reserve.
Stay right there. Stay right there. That's
I think
plenty.
I want to reserve
You said enough.
because I'm just like, you know what? I feel like we can have a one-off conversation in the future.
Well, we already did, but you didn't have any more information. But yes.
Truths, but like a follow-up.
Yes, a follow-up. All right, we'll do that at the beginning of the year. Let's move on. Let's go back, honestly, to Real Housewives of Potomac. This was a filler episode, honestly.
Indeed. So here's my thing, right? Straight out the gate, I am so disappointed in the Reasonably Shady Girls that they had that live show where they did not fill the audience and they filmed it.
It wasn't not filled. It wasn't not filled. It was like empty. And here's the thing. It was like you could see the empty seats around the castmates. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying there was nobody there. It was probably, I think capacity they said was 400. I would say it was probably maybe 250 max, maybe.
But here's my thing. Like, you and I both follow like big podcasters like The Read and The Friend Zone, and like one of my other favorites is Horrible Decisions and The Cocktails with Kiki and Medina. Shout out to all of these shows. But like, they do like comedy houses, so there's only so many seats, so you fill that and then you're good to go. They might do an additional night. So to me,
that's not true. The Read had they did theaters.
Well, yes.
I saw The Read live.
So, well, excluding The Read, they have a much larger audience and reach, right? Fair, and I would also say that for The Friend Zone. But the other two that I mentioned, they were doing like comedy houses and filling those houses and then doing like double dates in those spaces. Gotcha. So to me, I feel like that's what should have happened, because it's not to say that they don't have a quality show and that they're not funny and whatever the case may be and people aren't interested. It's just that just didn't look well on television.
It really did not.
That's really my bottom line. I haven't ever listened to Reasonably Shady. Giselle cracks us up. You know, I need to, but like I work from home now. I'll be listening to that shit. Not as much as I used to.
You know what it is? For me, Reasonably Shady is a good companion to Carlos King's podcast. And I treat them sort of similarly. To a point where I will listen to it if I see someone interesting coming up there. Like, I'm not a faithful listener of either of those shows, but I've listened and had a good time listening to both. So like when Carlos was on Reasonably Shady, that was a good time. I listened when Jamal Bryant came on Reasonably Shady. He was on there a couple weeks ago. So like I subscribe.
Why in the Lord's name? How do we have a holy conversation of possibly keep the holiness together on a show called Reasonably Shady?
You know what? Like, it wasn't unholy, but it was like very.
It was on the line.
I wouldn't say it was on the line. I don't think he told the line, but I think Giselle was Giselle, and their banter was kind of fun to listen to, as far as like her time as first lady, and Robin was kind of there facilitating the conversation almost between the two of them. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun listen, but I kind of they kept it cute. They kept it cute. And she talked a little bit more about her time as first lady, which was fun to listen to. So, you know, I like Reasonably Shady in small doses. I don't need it every week. And same for, you know, Reality with the King.
I'm gonna have to play catch up because I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey.
So what else? Is that all for Potomac? What else happened on Potomac?
I like you said it was a filler. I don't know.
I like seeing Giselle and the Grand Dame back together.
Oh, they were a riot on the couch.
Together. It just tickles me, and then seeing them go back and shade each other on the back.
Girl, you know what's funny? Watching them on the couch and kikiing back and forth, they give me old school Nene and Kim Zolciak.
Yes, very that. Very, very that.
Like, they are hysterical together.
they're just so funny together. And then when you're cutting in with the confessionals and you're seeing them shade each other, and Karen is like, I want to say that I like something other than
The chandelier.
the chandelier. But the chandelier is lovely. And it's just like, yes, I love this. I love
I
this.
love them. They crack me up. But Karen is
That
still my
is-
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? That's pretty much it.
Wasn't really a whole lot going on because
It was a
obviously, like
filler
we said,
episode.
we're rolling into the holiday season. So
Heavy on the filler.
period. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this here show up and make it quick and simple and quick and dirty. Okay. We will not be back next week because Kendra is traveling. The girl is going to Ghana.
Wow. Okay.
You said it in the episode.
Yeah, but that has not posted yet. So
Oh, you right. My bad. Sorry, y'all.
So I'm traveling. I will be traveling next week. So yeah.
She's traveling. So we will be back in the new year with the reality recap. And we hope that you all join us. But in the meantime, there's plenty of things that we have recorded and posted up for the last couple of weeks. We will continue to have content going probably till like the second week of January. So of course, just make sure you're still watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. And check us out on blackandcurious.com. And we will see you in the next reality recap. Bye. Oh, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. All the above.
That part, but mixed Scrooge. I'm working on it. Bye, guys.
Or happy holidays.
There you go. That works for me. Happy holidays, friends.
Bye.